Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're giving you our top fantasy football running back rankings for 2020. Specifically, we are talking about our top 12 running backs. These are the running backs you should target in rounds 1 and 2 of your fantasy football draft, and you should target them if you want to win your draft, to win your league. Let's start this fantasy football podcast right now.
Hit that drop. Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Football Upside. I am Justin. Kyle's going to point at himself. Thanks for dropping by our Fantasy Football podcast and YouTube channel. We definitely appreciate it. Today, we're going to continue our running back rankings. We're going to give you our top 5 running backs for the 2020
Oh, more than that. We're doing top 12.
Season.
We're doing
Why
top
did I say
12.
top 5?
I have no idea. I'm so confused.
Let's
We're
go
doing
ahead
top
and do
12.
Top 12 running backs for the 2020
It doesn't even
fantasy
say
football
5.
season. I can't even read good. But
You
our
can't read
episodes
good.
from Monday and Tuesday of this week, we gave you 2 mock drafts, a PPR mock draft and a half-point PPR mock draft, both with 30-second clocks. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
And yesterday, we gave you our running back 2s for this season. Check that out where Kyle's pointing.
Yep. Well, I was.
All right, what you got for me?
All right. Hey, I don't have much. Like usual, I love to say, hey, hit that subscribe. But also,
Yep.
you know what? Hit that like, drop a comment, do something like that.
Do
Engage
those
with us. We'll, ask questions. We'll answer them. If we start getting a lot more questions, maybe we'll do some sort of like a live stream Q&A thing. We'll see.
That'd be
You
cool.
can also go over on Twitter, hit us up with some questions there. It's JW_the upside,
Yep.
at JW_the upside, and at Kyle_the upside. And you can hit us up with questions. We also have at FFB upside, right? As an underscore
that is
upside.
correct.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive right in, headfirst in the shallow end, guys, and let's get through these running back ones. These are the guys that you're going to draft in the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
And if you just so happen to be drafting in a league with kindergartners, maybe you'll find one of these guys in round 3. I don't know. If you
Or
do,
maybe you
get
can
out
get
of that
2 of these in
league.
your first
Yeah.
2 rounds. You just never know.
Yeah.
You can start off
Well,
running back.
That's the goal, actually.
That's the goal.
All right. So, Justin, who do you have as – we're going running back 12 through 1, guys. We're going backwards. Who do you have as running back 12 here, Justin?
At number 12, Nick Chubb, Cleveland Browns. So we're down on him a little bit more.
How did he get back? How did he get back into our top 12?
Well, I don't think he was. He was in our top 12 on our most recent one. He was. Trust me.
Okay.
Because I actually moved him down a little bit more. And it's not based off his talent at all. We're not saying that at all. It all has to do with Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
And you can't ignore that. So whenever Kareem Hunt came back from that 10-game suspension, Nick Chubb finished as the 11th best running back, in those remaining games. And we're going to say it's probably going to be pretty close. And they have more mouths to feed now. You throw in a healthy OBJ. You threw how much money at Austin Hooper? I mean,
$40 million.
That's a lot of mouths to feed. So that's
it's not Jimmy Graham money, but
I mean, nobody's Jimmy Graham.
Nobody's got Jimmy Graham money.
We keep saying fading. I mean, he still is serviceable as an RB1, but I would prefer him as an RB2.
Yeah, I would want it if I'm drafting him. I better be at the top of the second round doing it.
Yeah,
that's where I feel comfortable taking him.
Yep.
But that's in a draft that is just straight up running backs off the board in the first round. Like if you get 3+ wide receivers in that first round, Chubb, in my opinion, should fall somewhere to the middle to the back of the second round. That's just where I think he should be.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Hunt. You can't say it enough times. He absolutely destroyed Chubb's value last year. It's set to happen again, but for the whole season, guys.
Yep.
So don't buy into the early season bias from last year. All right, so let's move on here at running back 11. Yeah, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Running back 11 for us is Miles Sanders with the Eagles. And, I'm kind of surprised that he's at 11, but I'm not totally surprised because it is a little hard to trust Doug Peterson fully. I want to, but I know that Boston Scott's going to get a considerable load of carries here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that Miles Sanders is just going to present phenomenal value. I don't think that he's going to miss out on goal line carries, where I'm a little more concerned that Chubb might lose out because of the versatility of Kareem Hunt at the goal line. Miles Sanders has that versatility. He can catch the ball coming out of the backfield really well, and he can run between the tackles easily enough.
Yep.
So he's on the field whole series when he's out there. If they split series, they don't split carries. So
you hit it right on there.
Yeah.
I think they are going to kind of split some series, but it's going to be like every 2 for Miles Sanders to 1 for Boston Scott kind of thing. So, or whenever you're running that 2-minute drill, it's going to be Miles Sanders out there. So, no, you hit it right on there, man.
Yeah, you can't ignore his talent. Like, he's seriously talented. And this offense right now, it's starting to drop receivers like flies again, guys. And that's when Miles Sanders the handcuffs were taken off of him, because Jordan Howard went down as well. And then they started losing their wide receivers last year, and it became a run-centric offense very, very quickly. And a lot of the passing game had to run through Miles Sanders first and Boston Scott first. So both of those guys should be moving up your board regardless of any nicks that they've got going on because they're injured or something here.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, running back 10. Who do you have for me, Justin?
Speaking of running up the draft boards, it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Eclair, and we still have him at number 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And there's a lot of people throwing him in the top 5 and everything like that. And
I was telling you, I did a mock and he went 4th overall.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I was like, what?
I get it. I mean, dude is supremely talented coming out of LSU, but it's still like I don't know. It's just really tough for me to trust that high of a draft pick on a rookie like that. I mean, there's still some people in the Chiefs, backfield as well that could take some of that work.
Some of the load, yeah.
Yeah, some of the load. It's just one of those things where, Andy Reid's never really been like, one running back kind of guy. He's always had a few in there as well. So,
well, I would say, like, when he had Kareem Hunt, that was kind of the closest situation to what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
And Kareem Hunt, he's still got, I don't know the exact numbers, but probably I would bet somewhere over 65% of the carries at that time, or at least 65% of the plays he was on the field. Helaire, I think, is talent meets opportunity.
Yeah.
You also have to remember he was a first-round draft pick, if I recall. He was the last pick of the first round this year.
Yeah.
And first-round running backs averaged 218 carries in their first season.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Andy Reid's going to buy into that. I really don't know. But it's a high-level offense, and to have the stats prove out that if you want to have a running back 1 through 6, you got to have an offense that's a top 12 offense.
Yeah.
You just do. So
if you can get him in your second round, if you can get him in the second round for some reason he drops there, grab him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think he's going around 8, 9 overall. That's with Michael Thomas and maybe Devontae Adams sneaking ahead of him.
Yeah.
I think that's still too early. All right. So moving on to number 9, running back 9, we have as Joe Mixon of the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little more you than it is for me, but I did move him up my board, actually.
Hey,
in this
I'm proud
round
of you.
ranking. Yeah. I'm buying it a little bit more, but that's because I think that this offense is going to be a little better, well-rounded this year. And so as a result, I think that his situation is going to be better. I think the offensive line's improved a little bit. Yep. I like that A.J. Green is coming back. I like that Joe Burrow is going to be the one throwing the ball. He's friggin' throwing darts out there apparently right now in practice. So, all day long. I like that. And I think that it improves Joe Mixon's opportunity. And this is a guy who can catch the ball. This is Miles Sanders in a different offense, basically, except he's a little bit bigger, just a tad bit.
Oh, yeah.
Miles Sanders, people are kind of confused. I think he is a lot bigger than people really actually think. They think of him like a scat back size guy, and he's a lot bigger. He's a lot bigger.
When it comes to
Mixon's a tad bit bigger. I like him. You like him a lot more than I do. So if you want to toss in a few points here, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you hit it, where with the addition of Joe Burrow, I think that offense is just going to be that much better, and they can't key on him as much.
Yeah.
And getting AJ Green back, and then the offensive line, Jonah Williams, I think was a first-round pick last year. And let's not ignore another one of these contract players. Joe Mixon is playing for a contract right now.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want, go ahead and buy into some recency bias. His second half last year was phenomenal. So
first half very rough. Second half phenomenal.
Yep,
absolutely. So, all right. So, number 8, we have Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers. I mean, he was the number 2 running back last year. And, they drafted A.J. Dillon. We get it. We get it, but are we really going to see that fall far from grace? I mean, this is still going to be a run-heavy offense.
What I'm going to warn you about, if you think that A.J. Dillon is going to eat into Aaron Jones's carries and load, this is still Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. A.J. Dillon is not running with the first team in the practices at all. He's not. They are not wasting their time. They're not doing that. He's going to come on the field sometimes here and there, but Josiah DeGara is coming on the field with the firsts. He's coming on the field in that H-back role, and that's what they're more focused on right now than A.J. Dillon. I think that A.J. Dillon will come along in the latter part of the year, but he's not going to eat into Aaron Jones until very late.
I feel like a A.J. Dillon pick would be great next year.
Yeah.
That's when it's going to be great, because you just don't know if they're going to
late round flyer if you feel like you got a deep bench. You're just like, let's see what happens. If you can sit
12,
on
13,
him for a little while,
round. Yeah.
But I think maybe mid-season, try to look for him on the wire.
Yeah.
But Aaron Jones, if you want to hit any more on him, I think he's a phenomenal pick. Yeah, I mean, I like him, obviously, right? And I've also been an Aaron Jones truther for a little while. I've been the one who's had him in our league for a few years. He finally paid off.
I
finally paid off.
I was the one that drafted him and disappointed. I drafted him at one point, but this was a few years back, everybody, before you were like, oh,
it was before it was. It was before it was worth it. Like Aaron Jones had some flashes 2 years ago and just absolutely blew up last year. And I think people just fade him because he doesn't look like the prototypical running back, but he really he compares to Alvin Kamara and Austin Eckler. If you believe in either of those guys, I think you got to believe in Aaron Jones. This is an offense that wants to run it, and those two offenses don't want to run it as much. So, all right. So let's move on here to running back 7 for us.
7.
And
7 miles an hour.
That is Alvin Kamara of the Saints, or Kamara, whichever you want to say. And we like him. He's great. He's like I said, he's comparable to Aaron Jones. I like him a whole lot. I think that offense is set up in such a way that if he just stays healthy, which was his problem last year, he'll be solid. He actually, it was interesting. Drew Brees went down last year, and he performed as though nothing had changed. I think that's partly like a good sign for Teddy Bridgewater.
Right.
But I think it's also a good sign for Alvin Kamara. I think that offensive
good sign for the scheme.
It's the scheme. And he's one of those guys. Get him the ball in space, and Drew Brees is going to be able to do that. I think that there's no question about that. And then you add in that Emmanuel Sanders. We've talked about this before. You put Emmanuel Sanders out there, and suddenly I think that helps everybody on the offense because it gives a second legitimate threat. You can still double team Michael Thomas, but you cannot then double team the wide receiver 2 or bring 2 guys still down in the box to go after Kamara, because Emmanuel Sanders is going to eat lunch on you like all day long. He's going to just eat you alive. So I think that brings Kamara up.
Absolutely. I think Kamara is one of those ones, definitely a bounce back candidate for sure. I mean, he was like 18th last year. And we still have him here at number 7. But I think the opportunities are going to kind of stay steady from the last couple of years. It's just the efficiency is going to be a lot higher because of those injuries kind of held him back for that efficiency piece that we really were known from him in the first 2 years in the league. So, at number 6, speaking of second year, let's go Josh Jacobs of the Las Vegas Raiders. And
got it right. You got it right.
I got it right. I was very happy. I should have written that in to put Las Vegas in there. I paused for a second. I'm sure you saw
trusted
that.
yourself. You trusted,
which is
the
scary.
Vegas.
Las Vegas. But Jacobs, man, like, if it wasn't for that shoulder injury, I think he would have had even better year. And there's a lot of stuff that came out, and there's a reason why he only caught 20 balls last year, and it was because of the shoulder injury. The dude couldn't lift his arms up. So, you're not going to potentially throw him a pass if he has to go up for it. So there's a reason why he only caught 20. But everything's coming out, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to double that easily. Oh, yeah. You give 40
He wants to get to 60, I think he said. He wants 60.
He wants to do 60. I think Gruden said, 40 is the floor for him. Yeah. And, I like what they've done on this offense. They finally added some more speed on the outside. Yeah. And that way, maybe Josh Jacobs has a little more room to beast.
Yeah. Look, coming out of college, that was what his hallmark was catching the ball out of the backfield. Like
he was like the third down back.
Yeah, this is a first round pick, right? He was a first round pick, if I recall. This is a guy who is going to ball out this year. I really, truly believe it. This is one of those guys that I'm really upset is probably not going to find me in the second round of our draft, unfortunately. No. And I don't know if I have the guts to take him 5th overall in our home league, man. That's a rough one. That'd be tough. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on here to running back 5. That would be tough. To running back 5. And for us, that's Ezekiel Elliott. He has snuck back into our top 5. I'm not a huge fan of that, but that's where he is. My problem with him is not with him. It's the system that he's in now. I think that Mike McCarthy has never shown a propensity to have a true workhorse running back.
He went to the woods. Yeah. He went to the shanty. He's changed.
I'm over here, Mike. Which one do I look at? It's like, yeah. You went. I went into the woods. I came back, and I'm a different offensive play caller. You watch a lot of football in there? No, I went ice fishing. Dude, so you and everybody else in Wisconsin that winter, right? They're all different now. Zeke is great. He's a great between the tackles runner. He's a great off tackle runner. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield, and he's got a good quarterback to get the ball to him all the time, right? They have a lot of competition for him with opportunity because of the 3 wide receivers now. But I would also warn that, hey, look, Mike McCarthy wants to go over 60% of the plays are pass plays. And they're not passes called to the running back very often, unless they're like a wheel route, maybe because they have nothing left on the outside anymore. That's about what he does. And he likes to take the slot receiver and put him in the backfield and then make that person run a wheel route. So my concern there is simply that Mike McCarthy is going to harm Ezekiel Elliott's volume. And it has nothing to do with Ezekiel Elliott, his talent, or anything else. It's just Mike McCarthy. It's like Adam Gase. I'm not really a big fan of what he does with the players on the field sometimes. And running back is the one area that Mike McCarthy traditionally hurts.
That's one of those things where a lot of people are still having Elliott as like the number 2 running back or number 3 running back. And we're barely fading him just a little bit. But the reason why is everything that you just said. I mean, you're a Packers fan through and through, so you got to see this all the time. So that's why I'm kind of going
the stats bear it out. The stats bear it out. Go check it out, and you can see that the 13 years that Mike McCarthy was the head coach, he only had 2 years where the running back 1 averaged more than 14 carries per week or per game.
Jeez.
That's not a good thing for a running back. It's just not, especially a guy he's only had 1 season where he was under 20 carries per game. 1 season. And that wasn't a great season for him relative to what he usually does. All right, moving on here. What do you have for running back 4?
All right, number 4, we have Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. Talk about a guy coming off quite a few carries. I think he had dang near about 375, 380 if you include
with the playoffs.
Yeah, if you include the playoffs, which I will. So, but here's the thing is, everything points to him doing just about the same. They did bring in Darrington Evans, which is really good to kind of give him just a little bit of breathers here or there. Maybe pull Derrick Henry on maybe some third downs here or there just to keep him fresh kind of thing. But, Ryan Tannehill's been, praising Derrick Henry on his catching abilities here during training camp. So, man, if he starts catching the ball, just come on.
Cornerbacks having to come down.
Oh my gosh, just catching the ball and just going downfield. Good Lord, it's LeBron James coming down the middle.
His yards after contact will be crazy then. Man. Seriously, he's like,
I'm
not way toothpick.
Jeez.
Yeah,
you're just gonna, these cornerbacks are just gonna be coming out, mama no, and just get plowed. But what do you got for me on Derrick?
I like Derrick Henry. I think that the volume is possibly coming down a little bit. That's my concern with him. That I worry a little bit about Darrington Evans cutting in a little bit more. I think that offense hasn't changed from what it was when Dion Lewis was healthy. I think it changed because Dion Lewis wasn't healthy. And I think they went and drafted their next Dion Lewis, and that's Darrington. You're going to see a little bit more with Derrick Henry in first and second down and coming off the field for third down. I worry they won't be splitting series, they'll be splitting carries, and that's a bit problematic for a guy you're drafting up in the top 5. However, he's still probably going to see something close to 300 carries in the fantasy football season.
Right.
And that's phenomenal. Like that is the
king.
same level that you were getting out of Zeke his first 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also the same level you get out of Leonard Fournette all the time. His efficiency is super, super low though. But yeah, if you get something close to what he was carrying last year as far as volume and efficiency, look out. The RB1 is a possibility if Christian McCaffrey somehow falls off the pace.
Yep.
All right.
Who do you got for me at number 3?
So, number 3, we have Dalvin Cook, the Minnesota Vikings. Dalvin Cook is in an opportunity it's the same as it was last year. Mm-hmm. It's an offense that's built for his style of run. It is one cut and go, and it is a zone block scheme. And now the offensive coordinator is the guy who essentially was the one calling plays last year, kind of. And that's Gary Kubiak. Everybody wants to think that who is it? What was his name? I can't think.
Alexander Madison?
No, the offensive coordinator last year was was it Stefanski? Yeah. He's now in Cleveland. They want to think that he's going to just run, and that's why Chubb's going to be great, right? Yeah. The truth is that he was doing that because the guy that had the job before him got fired for not doing that. And then they brought in Gary Kubiak, who that is all he does is run. Mm-hmm. And they put him right behind him and said, we already have your replacement. Do you want to run the ball now? And so that's what they did. So this is an offense that's just going to go right through Dalvin Cook. I think that Kirk Cousins is going to be a bit more of a game manager. He's going to have that one wide receiver, Thielen, who's going to have a phenomenal season. Yep. And then it's going to be like watching the Packers a little bit in that respect because it's going to be one wide receiver, great running back. And oddly enough, Dalvin Cook has never scored more points in fantasy than Aaron Jones in any season.
Oh, well, that's because he got hurt before.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Dalvin Cook is, phenomenal. He is reporting to camp. He's in camp right now. So there was, the slight chance of a holdout, but doesn't sound like that's going to happen. Once again, another contract year, man. Yeah. Another contract year player.
Oh,
dude, that running back class for next year is going to be insane. So they're all playing for a mega contract. So, all right, at number 2, I have Saquon Barkley. We have Saquon Barkley at the New York Giants. Yep. But, do we really have to say too much about Saquon? We can talk about his thighs. We've talked about, we can talk about, the tree branches.
He's got those A.J. Dillon thighs, right?
Yeah. He's got those A.J. Dillon thighs before A.J. Dillon came around.
Everybody knows Saquon Barkley should be going number 2. If you're taking Zeke ahead of him, okay, that's your personal opinion.
Yep.
You're wrong, but that's your personal opinion.
Dalvin Cook, a little bit of injury risk. That's why that's there.
So that's
Derrick
why
Henry,
he's not.
There's a volume.
And hey, Saquon does have an injury history a little bit.
He does have missed
his rookie year. He did miss significant time, if I recall.
What was always your favorite thing when it comes to people?
Yeah, I was just going to say, here's my caution with him. Right, my word of caution is that Saquon Barkley relies too heavily on the 85-yard touchdown play. But that's because he can. That's
because he gets them.
Because he does it repeatedly. What do you have? 8 of those last year, I think. I was every week you just flip on the TV and go, oh yeah, there's Saquon Barkley running for another 85-yard touchdown. Yep. It's nuts. The question is, how many times is he going to get the ball inside of his own 15-yard line this year? And that's really the question. How often are they going to get pinned back in their own red zone?
This is going to be a lot better offense, in my opinion. I think if they can have all 3 of their wide receivers, because they're all 3 pretty decent, they just never had them all on the field at the same time. So it was just another one of those, Danny Jones makes some stuff up, and that's not a good thing for a rookie QB. So I think he's going to take another step, and I just think this offense is going to be even better, and Saquon's going to ball out this year.
Yeah, I think Saquon Barkley is going to be phenomenal. He's going to be a solid guy for you, and that's why he is up there near 2 for a lot of people. Yep. And that is that you pretty much are not going to miss on him. You're getting a top 5 running back by picking him. So,
absolutely.
All right. And our RB1, do you need to ask who it is? I don't think you do. It is Christian McCaffrey, who is also wide receiver 8. He's running back 1 and wide receiver 8. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's unfair. He's such a cheater. He obviously has himself in every fantasy league that he plays in because he's friggin' cheating, man. That's insane. That's nuts. That's something that's unparalleled. In quite some time. I would put it up there on par with LaDainian Tomlinson, Priest Holmes,
Marshall
a few other
Faulk.
guys. Yeah, Marshall Faulk. Faulk was probably the first guy to really do it in fantasy. But you're not going to make a mistake. Pick him first. If he's not first and you're second, take him second. If he's not been taken and you're third, take him third. Whatever pick, if he's still on the board and you're choosing, you got to take him because there's no reason to think that Matt Rule is going to do anything different than what they've done under Rivera. They're going to hand the ball off to the sure thing. They're going to throw the ball to the sure thing.
Yep.
And he's going to run for touchdown
and
after
he
touchdown
never
after
comes
touchdown.
off the field.
No,
they
literally.
keep saying, I mean, Ron
he's on the
Rivera
field
was talking
more
about
than the
last
QB.
year. Like, they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to give him some breathers. I think he finished at like 99% snap share last year.
Yeah.
He's not going to come off the field. I mean, he's going to get you 1,000 yards on the ground rushing and 1,000 yards in the air receiving. That's just
and 22 touchdowns.
Yeah,
not
quite
really,
possibly.
but he
You
could
never
do
know.
that. He could do that.
He
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah.
I am sitting so pretty when it comes to our fantasy football draft because I have the first pick.
Yeah, how'd you get that?
I won something.
You won a bracket, right?
I did.
Can you inform the readers what bracket that was?
It was a consolation bracket.
We
Okay,
we both won our brackets.
We did.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, that's it for us on running backs. I think that's probably it for us on our rankings before the season starts. We will talk to you again about them during the season. So definitely subscribe and click that bell so you get notified so that during the season, we're talking about the running back rankings during the week, who you should be targeting, who you should be hitting off your waiver wire, who you should be putting in your lineup, and who you should be taking out. All right. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to be here all year to help you out, make those start sit decisions and those waiver wire decisions, all the tough things to get you to your championship. We're going to be doing wide receivers, I think, next week to start the week or something. But the thing we're going to do to end this week is we're going to do it. We're going to do that 22-round COVID deep draft, mock draft. And we're both going to pick. It's going to be a little bit longer episode, but we're going to do the frenetically paced 30-second per pick opportunity. So we're going to rush, and it's going to be kind of crazy at the end of the draft because we both are going to be hunting, and that's what you're doing at the end of the draft is hunting. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a little crazy. So check that one out. I think we're doing that one tomorrow, and we'll have it ready for you so you can watch it. All right, guys. Like I said before, hit that like button. Throw a comment down there. I'm going to throw up the running back 2 rankings on the screen for you right now. So if you want to check those out, go ahead, hit that video right now, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for being a fan of the Upside. Bye.
See you guys.